Hello. In this video, I'm going to be doing a type of vlog of a day in the life of a stay-at-home wife without small children. But before I get into that, I have footage from the other day that I recorded as to what I did the whole day as a stay-at-home wife with no little kids. But before I get into that, I wanted to share with you what happened on the phone interview that I had for the nursing job at the hospital. This phone interview was like 10 days ago. Um, they basically called me, and the first thing that they said, the recruiter, it's a recruiter who calls you. The first thing that she says is, oh, that position that you applied for, which was a part-time day shift position, has already been filled. But we do have another position, and that position is full-time nights. I was like, no, that's not what I applied for. That's not what I'm going for. I'm interested in part-time day shift. So she looks in her system and she finds another position in a different hospital from the same organization, but it's slightly a little bit further from my house. And she says it's part-time day shift. And I said, okay, fine. I will take it. It's a little bit more distance, but it's fine. But she says the next question out of her mouth is, are you willing to do weekends? And I said, well, I'm working part-times. Is the weekend requirement 2 days? It's every other weekend. So I'm like, is it Saturday and Sunday, or is it just one day during the weekend? She thought about it a little bit and she's like, I think it's one day. So I could feel that was a bit of a discrepancy between us. I could feel that she wanted me to say, yes, I will work every weekend. I will work night shift. Basically you have to be in that position, in like a desperate position to get a nursing job here in South Florida. There are so many nursing schools putting out so many new grads every year. I myself know like 3 or 4 new grad nurses in South Florida that are looking for jobs at this moment, and they haven't been successful. So they often call me because it looks like I have a lot of years of experience, so they're trying to balance out the new grads versus the experienced nurses, but they don't want me enough to give me a good schedule. They're still trying to make me work the schedules that no one wants to work, night shift and weekends. And I'm trying to get a work-life balance here. My whole thing with starting this channel, and my whole motto for my life at this stage in my life, is that I want to have a good quality life. And I don't feel like working every weekend is really quality living. Not if my husband is off on the weekend. So, I'm working and he's off. He's working and I'm off. That we're not on the same page. I feel like I'm not going to get to be enjoying my life. So that's not something that I'm willing to do. I'm willing to do one day of the weekend every other week, like every other Saturday, for example, or every other Sunday. Okay, fine. I will sacrifice that Sunday. But every other Saturday and Sunday, for me, that's too much. And especially since before, when I remember nursing, when I started nursing, when you worked every weekend, you got a differential. You got like $5 or $6 more an hour to work every weekend. They would hire nurses specifically to work the weekends. And from a time on, they did away with that, and they said, you know what? No, let's just make our regular nurses work every other weekends. Why are we going to spend more money when we can just make the same nurses do that job? So basically, I don't want to do that. I don't want to sacrifice my personal life, my real life for a job. So, and they haven't called me anyway. So it's not like they've offered me any job. The phone interview was 10 days ago, and they haven't called me since. So what I decided to do instead is focus on enjoying my life more. I don't have a job, but that doesn't mean that I'm useless. That doesn't mean that I have no purpose, that I have nothing to do. As you'll see in this vlog, these are everyday mundane things that may not seem very important, but they keep a household running, and they keep you active, and they keep your purpose. You have a purpose in the family. I don't have little children. Our daughter is grown up. She's 20 years old, but that doesn't mean that the family doesn't need laundry done, doesn't need their meals cooked, doesn't need, someone to clean up around the house, to organize the home, to schedule events. You still, as a homemaker, you still have a great big deal of purpose. So that's the reason why I'm making this vlog and showing what I did in one day as a stay-at-home wife with no small children. First thing I did on this day was get started with laundry. I usually separate my clothes and then pre-treat my husband's shirts, especially the collars, to make sure I get all the stains out. Next thing I'm going to be doing on this day is going to be heading to my workout room to get in my workout for the day. This is my workout room. I have a treadmill, I have an elliptical, I have some free weights. Here I'm going to show you how to make my post-workout protein shake. I basically use 8 ounces of almond milk, and then I put 4 ounces of water, 1 scoop of this 100% whey protein. This is a chocolate hazelnut, a sprinkle of cinnamon. I didn't have any bananas, those are plantains, but I usually put a banana in there as well. Now I'm going to make my green tea, my matcha green tea with turmeric. This is a pretty good tea. And I also add collagen to it. I put 3 spoonfuls of collagen, 2 of these whole earth stevia and monk fruit, and then the matcha green tea with turmeric. This is a breakfast I usually have every day. This tea with a protein shake. And I do have a kettle, but I'm too lazy to take it out most days. So I just heat up a cup of water for like 2 minutes in the microwave. I want to show you my cup. It's a peanuts cup. On the other side, it says life goes on. I actually got this when I failed an important test. And here I am reading my Bible scriptures for the day and drinking my protein shake. Usually take about 15 to 20 minutes to read some scriptures and to write some notes on what I read. Here I am back to the laundry. You're going to see me in this room like 6 times on this day. I do all my laundry on one day, usually on Tuesday. Here my daughter had washed her sheets. Here I am in the bathroom. I am going to hand wash a couple of clothing items. I use this jabón sote, and usually I do it to the white clothing. My washing machine is terrible, to be honest. We got a new washer machine a few years back, and we had an old one that washed clothes far better than this new one. This new one is pretty terrible. So the white clothing, it doesn't wash at all. They come out pretty dingy, yellowish looking. So I have to basically hand wash my white garments. So I'm just washing the collar of this white shirt that got a little makeup on it. And I'm washing the white skirt that looks kind of yellow and dingy. Here I'm folding clothing again. Now I'm helping my daughter replace her sheets that she had washed because she is in the process of studying web design. She studied graphic design, but she wants to do like another special course for web design. So she's doing that, and I'm helping her put her sheets back. And it's back to laundry. This is how crazy South Florida weather is. It was just sunny, slightly breezy, when suddenly, out of nowhere, hail. You can hear it. I mean, look at the palm trees, the palm fronds are all on the floor. Our fence got knocked over. I'll show you in another shot. I mean, it's crazy the weather here. Here, my daughter is helping me vacuum and mop. She usually does that about twice a week. Folding clothes again. I have to hang up my husband's shirts that he wears for work. And it's lunchtime. I'm going to have this lazy girl lunch. It's this canned chicken breast from Swanson. And these salad packs that I love because they're so convenient. They have everything you need. It's the salad with the dressing and croutons. So you mix it up. You mix up the salad packs with the chicken, and they have different flavors for the salad packs. You have Asian style, you have Southwest style. This one was Green Goddess. They also have a pizza ranch. They're pretty good. And then I like to have this half and half lemonade. It's half lemonade, half iced tea. And that's our healthy, delicious, and easy lunch. Now I'm washing some dishes from lunch. Here my daughter is mopping. And we do have a dishwasher, but I hardly ever use it. Actually, I've never used it. I just find it more time consuming to have to rinse the dishes, then put them in the dishwasher, and then you have to hand wash the large items anyway. So I hand wash everything. For now, that's how I do it. Maybe in the future I can get convinced to use the dishwasher. Now I'm gonna get started on dinner. I'm gonna make some jasmine rice. I use about a cup of the jasmine rice to a cup and a half of water, and then a sprinkle of sea salt. Here I'm just rinsing the chicken. I like to rinse my chicken because I get it from Walmart and it has that gooey, slimy stuff on it, so I rinse that off. Here I'm just trimming off the excess fat and cutting it into chunks. This is actually a recipe from Laura Vitale, from Laura in the Kitchen. It's an Asian style chicken stir fry. And I'm going to add a generous helping of ginger. Same for garlic powder, some low sodium soy sauce, and I'm just going to cover that up and set it aside while I make the sauce. This is how I make the sauce, but I'm going to put the recipe in the description anyway. You put about a half a cup of the soy sauce with a half a cup of water. You need sesame seed oil, about a teaspoon, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 2 teaspoons of rice wine vinegar, and red pepper flakes. My rice is done. I'm just going to fluff it up. And the water did come out of the pan a little bit. So you're going to see that on my stove. Right before I'm ready to cook the chicken, I'm going to sprinkle it with 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. To a large pan, I'm going to add some avocado oil. You could use a wok if you have one. I don't have one, so I'm going to use this. And I should have added a little more oil because you'll see me later on. I'm going to add more oil. I have this like on medium high heat. I'm just going to fry up the chicken thighs. After about 5 to 7 minutes, when the chicken thighs are done, I'm going to transfer them onto a plate, add a little more oil to the pan. Then I'm going to use this package of frozen vegetables. If you have the stir fry kind, that's the type you're supposed to use. I thought that's what I had, but I didn't have that in my freezer, so I just used what I had. I had the peas, green beans, and carrots and corn. I used that. It turned out okay. And then I added some baby carrots and some chopped up red onions. And I also added the chicken back in. Here I'm adding a little more soy sauce. And I'm going to add the sauce that I made onto the pan. I'm just going to taste the sauce for seasonings. And it was pretty good from salt for me. Now I'm going to cover it and I'm going to let it simmer on low for about 10 minutes. Back to my laundry, more folding, more washing. And our dinner is done. The Asian chicken stir fry with rice. Then I wash the dishes that I used to prepare the dinner. I'm going to wash the sink and the surrounding areas. Here I'm going to sweep and Swiffer the kitchen area. After cooking, you always get little crumbs, some type of mess on the floor. So I always like to clean up at the end of the day the kitchen floor. After I finish cleaning, I always like to light a candle to have the house smell good. And now we have the house clean and our dinner made. This was my bowl that I ate for dinner. Here I am ready for my Zoom meeting that I have. And that is what I did in a productive day as a stay-at-home wife. Thank you so much for watching.